Alright, so I gotta apologize for the last video because I got lazy and I realized that I just did a lot of playing and a little bit of conversation, comments on my pilot's remarks, and I really didn't explain what was going on. And in that last video, there was a lot going on that you might not have been aware of. And it should be my job to point out what mods are affecting what gameplay so that you know what's going on. So the only reason I did this is the first thing I do when I start a game. So Vortex is managing my mods, and when you click on mods, you can go in. If you disenable them, they'll be disenabled in Mech Warrior. Supposedly, if you enable them, they'll be enabled in Mech Warrior. But if I was still you, I'd still check the mods to see if they need to have a check put beside them, and then it'll tell you need to restart the game. But I think that only happens the first time you install a mod, but uh, Vortex does a good job. So all these are listed uh, on my uh, notes when you go to the page to look at the video. I got them all. There's links and all that. So this one right here, I for this one is so that when you're using the Pilot 360 mod or 330 mod, you can train the commander and make his level go up higher and get away from his quirks. And we've gone a little bit over the training, but I'm fixing to do some more in this video because I got a couple of girls I'm trying to max out. Uh, but so basically, I'm just a hero pilot. I can't get over 60. But if I would have had this turn, because this has to be turned on when it has to be turned on when you start a new campaign or a new uh, career. Since I didn't have it turned on for some unknown reason, it didn't get loaded, and I didn't realize it till after about 5 or 6 videos. So I decided I don't need it. I mean, it's me fighting. What it looks like in his stats doesn't really have to mean anything. But in the playthrough that I'm on now, where I'm at level 15 and haven't even gone through the whole campaign yet, he's 91. But that just all this does is it gives you like more points in your weapons and your evasion and your heat management, so that instead of maxing out at 10, you're going to max out at 12 or 15 or something like that. But you got to train to be able to do that, and that's in this 330 Pilot Overhaul DLC. Expanded logos is just logos, so that whenever you're doing your picking your logo you want for your ship, there's more to choose from, a bunch more. Alternate PGI HUD with line. In some of the mechs, the arms will swing out, and that actually, when you see that little swinging out thing that's not on that doesn't have the X in the center of it, that's that arm, and you can shoot that arm at something. That gives you a little more range. Ammo weight system. So there's a couple of different ones to download from this, but this takes you, and you can right click any of these and open on Nexus, and there you go. It's right there. It gives you the description. Um, like the one we're using, it cuts all the ammo weight down to 5, cuts the half ammo weight down to 2.5, and it also gives you, like, here's your example, gives you 30. It takes the rounds from 20 to 30, takes the rounds from 10 to 15 on the halves. So not only does it give you less weight, so you have more room for heat sinks and armor, it also gives you a tad bit more ammo. So, and then when you go to the files, there's different versions of it. This is just the weight system by itself. This is the weight system with the ammo. And then these are older files, optional files. Ammo weight system, no weight, ammo, rate system, extra ammo. Hell, there's more. I don't know which one I downloaded. I downloaded so many of them. But anyhow, but you can read through this and pick which one you want. I highly recommend getting the one that's gives you the the half a weight and the 2.5 weight and the ammo boost, because that helps. But all you got to do, if you click download, uh-oh, oh, there you go. So you pick download and you click download, so it did download it into my download files accidentally. But if you click, I think, let me make sure it's not downloading in Nexus. Nope, see, if you had a download going on Nexus, it would show you right there. But if you click download with Mod Manager, it's going to take you here, and you're just going to hit the slow, because you're not fast. You got to pay for it. Nobody hardly ever pays for the fast. They get the slow version. So we're going to go back. But Nexus will automatically open that up, download it, and install it. And if there's anything that you need to approve or pick or do, it'll pop up and say, hey, we need your approval to do this or do that. Not Nexus, but Vortex. So that's why I like using Vortex. Vortex is pretty handy. But, so any of the mods that are in here, you can right click them and say open on Nexus, and you can read everything about them. But so alternate, there's the ammo weight. Better markets. Whenever you see the little icons beside the industrial hubs that say, 3 rare weapons here, got the little loot box, that means there might be some kind of not a weapon, but like a double heat sink or something, equipment, that's equipment symbol. So this is the mod that gives you better markets. It's gonna give you more tier 5 weapons, which whenever it says 3 unique weapons here, those are all going to be tier 5. And this is the mod that does that. Better salvage. This gives you a higher rate of salvage. In other words, if it's defaulted at 3 for 1 point, it's up to 5. And maybe even higher on. I think it depends on the mission. But you're going to get better salvage, okay? And it's salvage shares. So it's how many salvage shares. Company name. I haven't tried this, but this is supposed to be where you could change your company name and logo mid-game if you decided you want to change it to something else. Coyote missions. This guy has got so many mission types and so many levels. I mean, this is the best mod I've ever played in the game. It just makes the game more challenging and come alive, and some of it's too challenging, and I'll say that in my videos. Uh, Expanded pilots. I can't remember exactly what that one's for, but it works. I got it in there. Oh, this gives you more pictures, more faces to choose from whenever you, because you can change the faces and the voices of your pilots. Last man standing. So 360 or 330, I keep saying 360, don't ask me why. But so 330 Pilots says that this guy is available, but what I found out is he's available to hire, but he doesn't show up. So the 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 4th mission in the game, last man, or it might be the 5th one, last man standing. You link up with 2 pilots. One gets his mech gets blown up, and the other one, which is Freeman, ends up joining your lance. That's your first free pilot that you get. With this mod, Rook, the pilot that gets blown up, and it's not exactly the same because I'm not. Rook in the mech that gets blown up is African American. I mean, or he's very dark complected. Take your pick. But the rook in that you get from this, it's not the same rook. But basically, what you do is when this is installed, you're going to get Freeman and Rook, you're going to get a blackjack for Rook, and you're going to get the Jenner for Freeman. So with having this installed, when you do the last man standing, you're going to end up with 2 pilots and 2 extra mechs. Mech compatibility pack. You got to have that. Some of these mods require it, and I'm pretty sure this Mech Delivery mod options requires it. Okay, so Mech Delivery. This is the mod where you get to buy stuff when you're in an industrial hub. You get to buy, as long as you got the C-bills, you get to purchase weapons, ammunition, hardware. You're limited to all the tier 5 and tier 4s. You can only buy 2 at a time. And the ammo and equipment, you can buy 3. And if you want to buy like lesser, like tier 3s or tier 2s, you can buy 3 at a time. But you get them in, like, I'm going to say an average 56 days. So you can only buy them once. You can only buy them every 56 in-game days. But there's a button where you can say special delivery, and it costs more depending on how much your bill is. And it gets shipped directly to the Leopard. So you've got the mods. I mean, you've got the weapons and equipment right there within, 56 days, 58 days. And you can order mechs too. You can, if you got the money, every mech that's in the game, even the add-ons that you put in there, will be available to purchase, and it gets shipped to the Leopard. Takes longer. The more expensive it is, the longer it takes. But you want an Annihilator, you want a Night Star, you can buy it if you got the C-bills for it. But in the beginning of the game, and what I'm teaching people in this is how to use these mods to get mechs, to get pilots, to get equipment, to make it easier to do that and earn C-bills. So unless you want something really, really special, you probably never have to buy any mechs, but you can if you want to. I wanted to do the Shadowhawk. It's one of the ones from the Classic Mech pack. Could never find one out in the, running a game, and I really wanted to test it out, so I bought a Shadowhawk. That's the only one I've ever bought. Still haven't seen a Shadowhawk, but the newest add-on was a Kit Fox, and I've actually blown up a few Kit Foxes. But okay, Mech Delivery. Buy stuff in industrial hubs. You can't buy it again until you get a delivery. So it's not like you can go jump, jump, jump and buy. But you got to have C-bills. You got to earn C-bills to buy it. Mod options. Mod options is when you open up options in Mech Warrior, and I'll show you that when we get into the game. There's a tab for options, and all these ones that use it will have all their tweak settings in there. Next Gen pilots. So this is the one that gives you all the pilots. All these pilots in this one have helmets. This is like the next generation of pilots that's going to come, that's in the game. Maybe it comes out later in the timeline or something, but just gives you more pilots to choose from. I downloaded it. I actually don't like helmets on people, so you can go in there and modify their appearance and choose different portraits, and you can also choose different voices. This was a waste for me because I'm always choosing the more cartoony looking ones, and without hats or helmets or stuff like that. But that's what that is. It's just more pilot portraits to choose from. Okay, no player friendly fire. Okay, so this is an old mod. It hasn't been updated in a while, if I remember right. But I've been using it, and it works. It works. So the last time it was updated is August 16th, 2020. And you do not do damage. You cannot inflict damage on your lance mates. And they don't inflict damage on you. And when you hit them, they don't say stuff like, gripe about you shooting them because they're not getting any damage. Uh, I think it does the same for any other friendly, like where you drop on a planet and you get, uh, help. And with the Coyote mods, there's quite a bit of that. That you'll get either uh, non-friendly people coming down and wanting to kill you, or you'll get friendly people that want to help you. And and as far as I can tell, because I think I've shot a couple of the friendly people, it doesn't affect them either. No storage costs. What it says, you don't have to pay for any storage. And I actually, I thought the game automatically did that, but maybe it didn't. Paint schemes of the inner sphere. This is more uh, colors for your mechs when you're painting your mechs. Uh, Bunches of them. There's ones for IS mechs and clan mechs, and there's quite a bit. Perfect pilot, perfect potential pilot unique. I'm not real sure if I need that or not because I think it's the exact same thing as the 330 pilots. No, this is some more. Let's see mod description. So this basically makes your pilots have maximum potential. So this is also part of the training. And this is the one that says Rook is added, but he's not added. He doesn't show up like when you first do it. Okay, so I mean you guys can read over all these and pick and choose what you want, but these are the ones that I'm using in the game that I'm playing right now. Okay, so let's go down. Quick armor repair. Basically, what this one does, if we read it, so it only you can get a mech repaired in a day if it's like you've been fighting, then you only need uh, minor repairs. Cuts the time of the repair time in half, if not more. And I'm not sure. I got one that gives you the jump times cut in half too, so you're not doing so much jump time. I thought it was a combination of that one, but apparently it wasn't. Simple zoom. So there's a simple zoom and there's an advanced simple zoom. I use simple zoom because I use a controller. And the advanced simple zoom won't work with a controller. I mean, it almost looks the same as this, but what the advanced one does, it gives you the Mech Warrior zoom sounds like from Mech Warrior 4, and then the reticle spins around and locks on like in Mech Warrior 4. This just gives you a zoom up to 8, which is good when you're wanting to see what's way off in the distance waiting for you at one of them uh, Star League caches that you got. Then they're always Star League crates are always guarded by heavy and assault mechs. I mean, 90% of the time. It doesn't matter if you're 145 drop. If there's a Star League crate on there, it's going to be heavily guarded. And there's the stack crates. That's the ones that it gives you more crates. The options in there lets you decide if you want to have to hunt for them or if you want to know where they're at as soon as you land. There's all kinds of tweaks to this one. Um, there's the time overhaul. The time overhaul is so that when you jump, your time's cut real far down. So reduces upgrade time by 2/3, reduces pilot injury time to 14 days, travel cost reduced to 10 C bills. That's per jump. Okay, so reduces Travel time by a third. Jump time reduced to 3 days from 7 days. Travel time to planets reduced from 6 to 5 days. Reduces time to repair and refit a mech. Armor is repaired same day. Most equipment and weapons can be fitted in a day or less. So this just gives you more time. Now the main thing I like about this mod, it gives you more time to build your lance. If you're playing, I always like playing campaign because I like storyline. If you're playing a campaign mode and you all of a sudden get that pop-up mission that says, hey, we need you to come in and do some training so we can see if the Federated Suns is interested in you for a big campaign later on down the road. And it gives you 60, it's 6 months. It gives you 6 months to decide whether to join. And Rihanna tells you we need to get at least 2 to 3 regiment or lances and the pilots to outfit them. Well, if you don't have the time to build up to that, then uh, you're going to go out there with half of what you need. You really don't need that. You just need spare pilots and spare mechs. But what this does is it actually, because you're not spending so much time jumping around and traveling, you're more time earning C bills, getting mechs, getting pilots. And with these stacked crates mod, you are going to get a lot of mechs. And the 330 pilot mod going to give you some really interesting pilots. Uh, Under tonnage does just what it says. Uh, if you do a battle and you're underweight, you're going to get more salvage points and more C bills, and it works. Unlock hidden color schemes. That's just some more color schemes for the mechs. And then this is really good if you're into the classic mechs. This gives you access to Timberwolves, Hellbringers, Shadowhawks, Stone Rhino, Classic Marauder, Classic Summoner, uh, my favorite, the Argus. I'm really liking the Argus. The Mad Dog. Mad Dog's a damn good mech. And a lot of these classic mechs are a lot more durable than the ones that you're going to be piloting just from the vanilla game. Uh, so this is a good mod. There's a whole there is a list. It's the list is on my mod description too. But this is here you go. You get 19. Oh, that's a new one, Nova. I don't remember Nova. I may have to update. Um, so you're going to get all these mechs. I haven't seen a Nova yet. Let me look and see if I need to update. So another thing that I like about Vortex is you can hit uh, check for updates. No updates found. So this one must have all those in it because it would have found the new one for me. But it'll actually tell you it found one update, and then the mod that needs to be updated, it'll actually have a link to download it. And then you download it. And I always tell it to replace all existing profiles. And sometimes there might be like a version 1.7 and a version 1.8, and it'll be using the newest version. But you can right click it and delete the older version so that you only have to worry about having that one mod in there and it doesn't change anything. So we're good. Okay, I wanted to, I mean, I've haven't been doing a very good as being an instructor. So I'm trying to do that. So, this is gonna be a separate video. I'm just gonna place it in there and so I like GOG. Um, I've I'm not happy with Steam because you've got to always be online. I actually have an Xbox account because I got a bunch of gaming systems, but the see this one's available Xbox and GOG. This one's available Xbox, GOG, and Steam. So I'm not happy with Steam. I like being able to play games that I can play without having an internet connection, and that's what I like about GOG. Don't have to sign in. You can just launch the game and go to town. Uh, I like that game. I really do. I bought a PlayStation 5 just so that I could play the newer one. But I've got this game modded too. There's mods for it on Nexus. Uh, so I like GOG. Just saying. I do use this. You can link your accounts to it. It says I own that many games, which I don't. My Xbox premium account's fixing to expire. I won't own all. That's these the ones you get from free. Now I did buy some from Origin, so I do have games from Origin. But this will let you link all your accounts, all your buddies, everything if you want to use this. The only thing I use it for is to play games. So, and it has the cloud backup. And plus, like if you, and Steam's the same way, but if you go to your game and you're having issues with it, you can click here and you can go to verify repair and it'll repair the game, which I like that. But so, and we're just gonna get this going so that I can show you the mod options and stuff in here. So I use a controller, Xbox, like Xbox Series X controller, an aftermarket one that I bought that I like. Okay, I I have a pretty nice Saitech 52X, but I've gotten lazy in my old age, and I like to sit back on the couch, so I don't have a table in front of me. I'm playing with a controller. In my game room, I have a 55-inch Samsung TV and a Yamaha surround sound system. But when I make my videos, I'm cheap. I'm using a $30 gaming headset that's hardwired into my computer, and that's what I use for, I'm listening through that and talking through that microphone. Maybe one of these days I'll get big time, but I'm not. So I got to get that music out of here for a second. There we go. Because I'm going to be yelling. Okay, so this is your basic settings, for the gameplay. And I do have the aim assist on high. And what I've noticed about it more than anything is uh, you don't shake so much when you're trying to aim. And the lasers, I don't know if they do it normally, but if you're off a little bit on the lasers, they'll go a little bit sideways and hit your target. And then when that draws your aiming point over so that your ballistic weapons can hit on target too. Uh, but anyhow, this is the pilot overhaul system, and this is where you modify it. I have not changed anything. This is the default settings, but you could read them all and go through them all. Um, I did look to see. I don't like losing pilots, so if I have a pilot die, well, when a pilot gets blown up in the game, he's going to either die or become missing. Or there's another option. You could get him back. The mech's blown up. You get him back, but he's injured and he's going to be incapacitated for 120 days or something like that. So a lot of times, especially if it's near the end of the game, because you can just restart the mission. You don't have to quit playing. You just go hit the buttons and go to restart the mission. But if it's near the end of the game and I've got a lot of stuff that I want to keep, I'll play it through. If he's dead, I'll restart the mission. I don't want him to die. I mean, you could just say, okay, he's dead, and buy another pilot, or pick up another pilot, or maybe you got 12 pilots. You don't care if you lose one or two. But there is no setting in here to not to where the pilots can't die. And with these mods, Mason can die. The commander can die. You just have to play with a different character. But if I die, I mean, if my mech gets blown up, I don't even wait to see if I die. I just instantly restart the mission. And, you know, if you're playing a difficult mission, there's all kinds of strategies that I'm trying to teach you that may help you, even if you're doing a 200-ton drop and you run into a whole bunch of assault and, you know, heavy mechs. Because with these mods, there's going to be a lot of that. Okay, so I don't really need to go over all this stuff, but I've pretty much got my graphics set up almost. This is the only thing I don't have maximum. I played with them until my Radeon software started telling me it was optimal, which was 55, 57 frames a second, and our percentage, whatever, can't remember what it's called, but like a 15 or 16. Sound, I'll turn that back up to 70 when I get back in here. Controls, I use this. This is what I use. And I got it to advanced. There's different settings. You got Mech Grip, Advanced, and Simplified. I just, Advanced is what I got it set it to. Don't ask me why. Before they had these options, I think when they did an upgrade, this automatically appeared, and I just went with it. But I do have a couple of Sayatech joysticks, you know, with the throttle control separate from the steering control. But I'm not using that because I don't want to have to set up a table to have it all mounted on and set at a desk. I am laid back, pillows up against my back on a couch in my game room. And that's the way I like my life to be. I'm 64 years old, man. I'm lazy. I want to have a relaxing time. Mod options. Okay. Mech Delivery System. That's the one where you buy mechs and buy equipment at the industrial hubs. Default, it's set to 25 or 75% markup. I bumped it down to 25, the lowest, so the stuff costs me more. Allow duplicate hero mechs. Hell yeah, I don't use hero mechs that much unless they're good, but hell, I'll sell them. They're worth bucks when you want to sell them. Date restrictions. Uh, I don't care about the timeline dates. You know, I want clan mechs before the clans ever invade. Uh, uh, this is restriction based on your reputation. No, I want to get good stuff even if I'm, you know, tier 4. And then I marked down 25% and same things right there. So that's it for the mech delivery system. Repair bays, good. Oh, I didn't show you repair bays. That's one I overskipped when I was looking at them. Repair bays puts repair bays on 30 to 40% of the maps in the game, and sometimes multiple repair bays. So they automatically start up when you get the game. I got that checked up. They are not destructible. That says destructible. I do not have that checked. Limit mission types. I don't want to limit mission types because I want them every chance I can get. Repair entire lance. You bet I want the whole lance repaired whenever I get repaired. So what this does is you don't have to run each mech. You don't have to switch to a different mech to run them through the repair bay whenever you find a repair bay. Repair you, and everybody else automatically gets repaired. Uh, Destruction, I'd turn that down. I don't want them to be able to get destroyed. And then I cranked all this stuff up to 100%, you know, maximum usage, minimum uses, minimum ammo, minimum armor, max uses, max ammo, max armor. All that's on 100%. I might be able to turn these minimum ones down to nothing, but I cranked it all up. Okay, so restore traits. I didn't see that one either. Dang it, I missed that. Okay, restore traits. Basically, you want everything clicked on this. We'll do some restore traits here in a little bit. This is not going to be a gaming video. This is going to be an educational video. Restore weapons and equipment. So what this does is when you throw a mech in your cold storage, this allows you to save their loadout. Saves their weapons, saves their heat sinks, anything they got on them, including when you do your cantina mission upgrades. All of that will be saved, and there'll be a little box icon beside them in the cold storage, so you know that I don't ever want to sell that mech. I'm going to keep that mech because right now I'm fighting in 100-ton area, but all of a sudden out of nowhere it pops up. I need a 25-ton mech. I've got one put together and saved in cold storage. So you throw one of your 100-ton mechs into cold storage, do the exact same thing that you did to that light mech, and you pop him back into service, and whoop, right there, uh, ready to do the drop. You're ready to go. You've got what you need. And I haven't got to that point yet where I've been saving them. But when I start getting to some, because I'm only got like 2 or 3 uh, empty slots in my oh, what the heck do you call it? Why I can't think of it. There's a name for it. But anyhow, in uh, your in the bay where you can choose your mechs from. What is it called? I don't know. I'll think of it when we get in the game. But anyhow, your bay where you pick all your mechs that are ready to fight. Why am I not figuring out what that's called? I'm having a brain fart. Sorry, people. But anyhow, one's called cold storage, and the other one's something else. I can't think of it. I'll think of it in a minute. So that's restored traits. It's pretty handy if you want to do that. The only thing I will tell you is if you use a controller like me, you can hit A to store it, and it'll ask. Well, you'll hit A to store it in cold storage, and it's going to pop up, and it's going to say A to continue, Y to store it with all the features, or B to cancel. Hit Y, it stores it in there, and it's all good to go. But when you throw that mech back into service, uh, you in your mech bay that's on the that you get to choose your fighting mechs from. Uh, if you hit the A button to throw it back into service, it loses everything because most of these mods are designed for mouse and keyboard. But if you keep a little wireless mouse, like I have a small wireless mouse and keyboard and a small mouse, just on a little coffee table that's sitting lamp table actually, so that when I need to do stuff like that, I can do it. If you grab that mech and drag and drop it into the the main bay, what the heck am I? Why can't I think of what that's called? God, that's the biggest stupid thing in the world. Anyhow, it saves everything. Simple zoom, just like it says, gives you up to activate 8 zoom. I think if this is unclicked, it only gives you 4. There is an advanced version that only works with the mouse and keyboard. I don't know if it'll work with control or joysticks or not, but it actually has colors for the reticle. Does the Mech Warrior 4 like the reticle spins while it's locking on, and it even has the zoom sounds. This one doesn't have any of that. Not like from Mech Warrior 4. Coyote missions. This is all of Coyote's missions. And you can remove all of these if you want to. You pick and choose what you don't like. And in case you say, I never want to play that kind of mission again. Best ones right there, resource missions. I'd never remove that. Okay, Coyote missions, especially the resource mission, and the stack crates work hand in hand, which we haven't gone over stack crates yet, but we're going there next. Uh, Defense towers. When you're playing a stronghold mission, their turrets. A lot of them do PPCs and LRM-20s, and they will murder you. So I've kind of this is default, but they're kind of down on their hit points, which is good because you won't be able to take them suckers out. PPCs are really hard because even if you try to shoot them at a distance, uh, they can, without getting a lock on you, they can still find you and hit you. And they're brutal, let me tell you. But that is what makes the missions more fun. Uh, this one here, you can betray an employer in certain matches. I didn't do that. I mean, if I want to, I want to. If I don't, I don't. But you could just disable that. Combat Leopard. So you actually have a Leopard drop in either on your side or the opposite side and it fights for you or fights for against you. And it's just like these up here, the PPCs. It's armed to the teeth, and it does a lot of damage, and it's not like taking out a mech or a VTOL. It's hard to kill. So, but it makes it more challenging. Stacked crates. This mod here is what adds all of the more sea bales, more equipment, and lots of mechs when you find them in crates. So all this defaulted was 50. I got greedy and I didn't bump it to 100%, but I tried to bump it all up to 65. Star League cash loot chance. So you're going to have mechs, equipment, weapons, rare loot, Star League loot. There's going to be sea bills, and I maxed it to you can change this from whatever you want it to be times your level. I want more money. Average mechs. So I did 2 to 3 over my current level. You can go all the way to 8 or 9, but that just means you could be getting atlases and stuff before you ever need them. But I just said I'm 2 or 3 over my current level, so that as I level up, I've got. Ooh, sorry. I'm at level. I just turned level 9, and I'm getting atlases in my crates now. But and then weapons, I wanted tier 5 weapons. Now this is a percentage. You're not going to get tier 5 weapons all the time. You're going to get tier 4s and tier 5s. But you love it when you get a tier 5 weapon. Because my strategy, more firepower, better weapons, have more firepower, and less heat. They generate less heat. And more range. Every weapon, the higher the tier is, the better firepower or damage, the better range, and the less heat it generates. Look at them and you can see that. So I strive to get all my mechs outfitted with tier 4 and tier 5 weapons. And before it's over with, I'll have enough tier 5 weapons to do that, thanks to the Mech Delivery system and stacked crates, which gives you stuff like that in the loot. And like I said, the Mech Delivery, you can buy it as long as you got the C-bills for it. This is defaulted. Rare loot and C-bills, junk loot and C-bills, new text, standardization timestamp. I don't want any timestamp. I mean, I know Mech Warrior lore and all that, and the timelines, but I'm playing for fun, and if I can get a weapon or a mech before it supposedly came out, I'll go ahead and get it. I don't care. Okay, so what this does, enable new loot and resupply crates. So, okay, so what this does is, if enabled, empty crates that provide a small repair and ammo reload will be installed, generating random loot. Okay. New loot and treasure crates, or treasure hunter. So if you're doing a treasure hunter and you go out there in the vanilla game, you pick up the item that you're looking for, and that's it. This puts extra stuff in there for you. Enable new loot and mission raids. Same thing with mission raids. You go on a mission raid, you're getting stuff for an employer. This puts extra stuff in there for you. Enable new latent intel crates. Same thing. If you're searching for intel, you find it, that's all you get. You turn it into your employer and you get money. This adds more stuff in those crates. And then enable Star League crates or caches. This way you get Star League tech. Weapon drops include ammo. When you get weapons, you will get ammo for those weapons. So sensor based. So I'm going to be honest with you, this is not working the way it should be, because I have a lot of this stuff changed, and I didn't want the my lance mates to be able to pick it up. I only wanted me, and I didn't want it to auto pick up, and that's came on for some reason, and it's doing it. And I may have to uninstall and reinstall this mod. But so sensor base just means what it says. When you get within sensor range, loot crate detection default was 100, and so what happens when you if everything's working right and you got it set like I get supposed to have it set, you walk up to a crate. When you get within a default, when you get within 100 meters of it, you can still see the crate and the tower that directs you to the crate, but it disappears from your map and your compass. So what happens a lot of times is if you're doing battle, you may walk past a crate, or a lance mate may walk past a crate, and that's why I didn't want the lance mates to be able to do it, but now they're doing it all of a sudden. And it would disappear from your compass and your map. So I narrowed it down a little bit shorter, but this is why I say when I'm doing missions, scan for crates, because if you walked past one, it might not be showing up on your map anymore, but you can see that tower from the other side of the map, as long as there's no mountains in between you and it. Scan time, it's 5. We can turn this on and it'll be 3. Manual means that you just got to hold it down till it's done. 5 seconds. Customs automatic scanning, sensor based. So I wanted to get automatic scanning is turned on. Disable, no automatic scanning. Enable, automatic scanning is always on. Sensor based, automatic scanning. So that's where it got screwed up. Somehow I want to disable this. Nah, I'm going to leave that on, because this way when you walk up to the when you get close, it's going to automatically scan. Customize loot crate markers and detection crates, sensor base. Disabled. HUD markers are always disabled. Enabled HUD markers for detection crates are always on. Sensor base. HUD markers depend on the active probe equipped in your lance. So this one should be enabled. I'm going to try it. This is so you can always see where they're at, and that's what I want. I don't want to go hunting for these. I want to land on a map and know where all these crates are so I can go find them. Custom loot crate scan overlay effect for scanning crates. Scan only. Disable scan overlay only visible when in scanning. Is always visible during and after scanning. I'm going to leave that where it is. I'm thinking, do I need to change this back? I'm going to turn that back on. Okay, that's where I had it set. Allow lance mates detection and scan. Now that's supposed to be off, but they're doing it. Okay, so here's your towers. Brightness. I turned the brightness up so these are as bright as it can be. Random loot. This is just vanilla loot. You know what, the normal game has 2 or 3 crates on certain maps. These are the ones that are on that certain map. You know, these are the ones the vanilla game puts out there. They're going to have more loot in it thanks to this, but these are the vanilla ones. Okay, these are your cantina missions. Okay, if they're yellow, that's part of your cantina mission, and whatever you're supposed to get, because the cantina mission, treasure hunter, it's going to be in there, but there's going to be more stuff in it because of this. And I got them all set to the tallest and the fattest, and then I fine-tuned the color a little bit. I actually didn't change any of these. These are default. The only one I changed was the Star League. Objective raid crates. Whatever's in your objective raid, plus you're going to get more, but that's going to be color for objective raid. Intel crate, same thing. Whatever was in your intel crate, plus you're going to get more because of this mod. So these are the two that were added mostly by this. Rare loot indicator. This is going to be rare loot. So this is going to have tier 5 stuff, mechs, you know, 1 or 2. Star League loots. This is going to be the Star League caches, and it's going to have lots of stuff in it, and sometimes 3 or 4 mechs. And then everything's just, this is all default. Oh yeah, the crash, mission markers. Okay, cheat. Turn random loot crates indicators on at mission start. So that's the one where as soon as you hit the map, you know where they're at. Find the clan loot early. I got that turned on so you get it before the timeline. Indefinite detection distance and indefinite scan distance. If these were on, as soon as you hit the planet, you wouldn't even have to go chase them down. They'd automatically fill you up. So here's one that's really handy. It's not much, but it sure helps when you're doing missions that don't have a repair bay. Repair and reload player lance on pickup. Entire lance. It's not much, but everybody gets a little bit of ammo, and everybody gets a little bit of bump to their armor. And then I didn't want to cut Rihanna out, so I didn't. This will make it where she won't talk to you about them. And then there's the debugging. Okay, so just in case I changed anything. Alright, so we are done with this. So I am going to wrap this one up, post it for people to see, and I'm going to try to do better because I've gotten lazy the last video especially. I'm going to try to do better about, as we're doing these things, explain the way each of these mods are intertwining with each other and changing the dramatics, or changing the system of the game that you're playing. Because I noticed I did an infiltration mission, and that's where you got to be sneaky to get around everybody to do your mission. And the stack crates dropped the Star League cache. Well, the Star League crates are always guarded, and sometimes always guarded by 6 heavy and assault mechs. Okay, so there was 2 crates of Star League cache being guarded. Well, those guys guarding it are considered enemy mechs to the people in your mission, so they instantly start battling. And in the infiltrator one, you're not supposed to get detected. Well, you've already been detected because you're blowing up mechs, but it's not really you, but they don't know that. So that's not a big deal because the stuff you're going to get from the crates is a lot better. Plus, the guys are killing the people that you would have been fighting, and the people you would have been fighting are damaging and killing the people who are guarding the crates that you want to get to. And sometimes, like if it's a mission where you're supposed to demolish a base, hell, it'll be demolished by 50% demolished by the time you get there because these guys are fighting the people that are guarding it. So it's not a bad thing to have them in there, and I'll try to explain that more as we're playing. But yeah, I probably took up enough of your time. I just want to do an apology on, I've kind of got, especially this last one, I just was more into playing the game than trying to tell people what's going on. But I'm going to try to continue. I was pretty good at it at first when I was explaining everything, and then I got lazy and thought, well, they've already seen the first videos. Well, that's not true. People may stumble on my newest video and not realize they've never seen any of my other videos. And if my newest one sucks, they're never going to want to look at any of my other videos. And I need subscribers and viewers, so I'm going to try my best. Like, view, comment, and subscribe, please. And, alright, I'm going to get out of here. So, for me to quit this, I use Radeon software built into my video card software, and we are going to quit that right